VPC Flow Logs is a feature that we can use in a VPC to collect information about the network traffic that's going to and from the network interfaces within that VPC. And then you can also export that information to Amazon S3 and CloudWatch logs as well. So let's have a look at how it works. So we've got a VPC here with a couple of subnets. Flow Logs will capture the data about the IP traffic that goes to and from networking interfaces within this VPC. So where do we attach it? Well, there's a few places. We can attach a flow log to a subnet. We can also attach one to a VPC, and we can attach one to an Elastic Network interface. So we're attaching it to an EC2 instance. So clearly the information you're going to see in that flow log is going to be different depending on where you actually attach it. We can then export that information to CloudWatch logs. And you'll see data like this. You'll see the accepts and the rejects. We'll look in a bit more detail in a moment about the data that you can actually record in a flow log. This data can be then published to CloudWatch logs or Amazon S3 as well. So we could also send it out to an S3 bucket. So what information gets captured? You get the allowed and denied traffic, the source and destination IP, the ports, and the protocol number, and the packet and byte counts. You also get the action taken, so accept or reject. Now let's have a look at an example of a flow log. So here you can see what a flow log looks like. And I want to contrast it against an ELB access log. So we didn't actually enable this on our load balancers, but you can enable access logging on your Elastic load balancer. And when you do that, you'll then be able to capture information about the requests to the load balancer and the traffic that's going through the load balancer. So let's have a look at the difference, because it's key to understand which tools to use for a specific purpose. So in the flow log at the top, we've got things like the source and destination IP addresses and source and destination ports, and we can see whether it's accepted or rejected. So it's very much raw information at the network layer. Now, if we then look at the access log, we'll see there's a bit more information at the application layer. So now we're seeing a GET request in there. We can see that there's a GET request for www.example.com. We can see the protocol version and some other information about that GET request. So use the right tool for the right job. If you're troubleshooting things like network ACLs or security groups, then you might want to look at your VPC flow logs. Whereas if you're troubleshooting connections to a load balancer and you're trying to work out what the clients are sending in terms of the requests that are coming in, then you might want to use something like an ELB access log for that. So that's what flow logs are. Best way to learn is always to go and do it. So we're going to go into a hands-on lesson and we're going to actually create a flow log.